Now, Friday Night Blitz on KEZI 9 News.
Welcome to the final Friday Night Blitz. I'm Stephen Nelson. After making the 6A quarterfinals for the 8th consecutive year, defending state champion Sheldon has their sights set on another title run. But to get one step closer, they had to get by Canby tonight, a team that has rushed for over 700 yards in its 2 playoff games this year. It's a rematch of the second round of the 2010 playoffs when the Irish beat the Cougars. Irish without Yadi Dunmore, who broke his foot last week. First quarter, Joseph Kuhn looking, finding Kellen Strom across the middle, and Strom is off and running, pushed out around the 30-yard line. Irish would kick a field goal, 3-0 Sheldon. Canby responds, handoff to Dominic Shorter, busts through the right side, and he's going longer, shedding some tacklers. Finally gets brought down inside the 10. Canby would kick a field goal, and we're tied at 3. Second quarter, Sheldon started with the ball, driving. Kuhn to Strom, wide receiver screen, touchdown Sheldon, and it's 10-3 Irish. But the Cougars go on a 99-yard drive to close the half. Austin Taylor caps it off with an 8-yard touchdown run. We're tied at 10 at the break. Sheldon ball to start the third quarter. Kuhn looking to make something happen. His pass gets tipped and is intercepted by Josh Payne. Cougars take over. After converting on 4th and goal to set up this touchdown run, Canby punching it in to take its first lead of the game, 17-10. Sheldon trying to respond now. They're down. Kuhn looking for Peter Wood, but he's intercepted again. This time it's Austin Taylor. He was outstanding on both sides of the ball for Canby. Fourth quarter now. Cougs hand it off to Cole Thompson, the senior strong safety, strong through the line, strong to the finish. 61-yard touchdown run, 24-10 Canby. Under a minute to play, there's no quit in the Irish. Kuhn to Strom on the slant. Strom's second score of the game. Sheldon within 7. 30 seconds left still, so it's onside kick time. But the Cougars recover. Canby, the 12 seed, comes to Eugene, dominates the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball, and shocks Sheldon. 24-17, the Irish's season comes to an end.
Canby was outstanding. You know, there's really nothing I can say to our kids to make them feel better. We battled. We just got beat up on both sides of the ball up front. And we've kind of done it with smoke and mirrors the whole year, and it caught up with us, no doubt.
I mean, anytime the season comes to an end, it's a bummer. Even when you win the whole thing, it's you know, coming to the end of things is tough. But our kids will rally.
Other 6A quarterfinal games tonight. Top-seeded Jesuit at home against Lakeridge. In the first, Jesuit down 7-0. Eric Hestick to chase Morrison 20 yards to the goal line. Morrison then gets a chance to finish what he started. 1-yard touchdown run ties things up. Still in the first, Morrison again. This time going through his left, using his blockers to his advantage. 60-yard touchdown run to give Jesuit a 21-7 lead. Later, Restick looking for Trent Warner. Touchdown, Crusaders running away with it. How about some more? Restick scrambling this time, looking, and Christian Martinek, the Oregon State commit, wide open. Man, is he a big boy too. Another Jesuit touchdown. They win big, 62-33. 7 seed North Medford, who beat Sheldon earlier this year, trying to make it to the first semi in 10 years for the school, playing at TIGARD in the first. Touchdown, TIGARD. A.J. Hodgkins with the score. Still in the first, Manu Rasmussen to the house. 69 yards. And just like that, it's 14-0 TIGARD. Second quarter now. TIGARD lining up. Fakes the handoff to the running back. Then gives it to the receiver, Samuel Inos. Gets it just over the goal line. Reaches across. 21-zip Tigers. Then later, Tyler Walker sees nothing but the end zone in his sight, dives in to make it 28-0 at halftime. TIGARD rips the Black Tornado 42-0. Undefeated Central Catholic in a showdown with Clackamas in Hillsboro. And the CCD got it going in the first. Sadiq Calhoun intercepting Dooney Johnson. A couple of fantastic names on that play. That led to their first score of the night. 7-zip Rams. Oregon State commit another one. Ryan Nall. He had over 130 yards rushing. Just 8 touches, including that one. Cuts it back, breaks some tackles. House call, 64 yards, is 14-0 CC. Then more defense and more from Nall. If the 64-yard run didn't do it for you, how about an 84-yard interception return for a touchdown. Pick 6 for Nall, 21-7 Rams, a 3-score night for Nall. The Rams run over the Cavaliers 42-7, the final. So the 6A semis are set. 12-seeded Canby now faces top seed Jesuit, and a matchup of undefeateds, TIGARD against Central Catholic, to see who advances to the championship. With Sheldon's elimination, this year's 6A state champion will come from the Portland metro area. From 5A to 1A, some of the top teams in Western Oregon getting ready for Saturday's state semifinal showdowns. After the break, we check in with some contenders to see how they plan to punch their tickets to state championships, including a bold prediction from one top-ranked team. All that is straight ahead on the Friday Night Blitz.
Welcome back to Friday Night Blitz on KEZI 9 News.
It's now down to the last 4 teams in every high school class in the state. Tomorrow in 5A, West Albany faces Mid-Willamette rival Silverton, 2 teams that have faced each other 4 times in the past 2 years, with each game having huge conference or playoff implications. Silverton knocked West Albany out of the playoffs last year in the quarterfinals, but the Bulldogs bit back this season, beating the Foxes 13-0 in September on their way to a league title and number 2 ranking. That was Silverton's only loss of the season, and West Albany knows that the Foxes will be out for revenge on Saturday.
They've lived up to the hype with me. You know, they've been pretty tough against everybody that they've played, and we played very well the first time we played them, and we got to play on our home field, so I'm expecting a pretty big battle.
We're just going to go out there Saturday and just play like we've been playing and kind of smash it down their throat just like we did last time, and run the ball up the middle, use our line, and see what we can do.
The other 5A semifinal tomorrow, Ashland will try to pull off the major upset over top-ranked Sherwood. That game will be at 1 p.m. at Autzen Stadium. West Albany and Silverton kick off at 5:30 in Hillsboro. The 4A semifinals will also feature a rematch. Cottage Grove beat North Bend earlier this year, 39-38 in overtime and in dramatic fashion. The Lions kicked a 50-yard field goal to force OT, then successfully went for 2 in the first extra frame to end it. Cottage Grove has never made a state championship game, and that is what's driving this year's team.
To be part of the team that could make it to the state championship means pretty much everything to me, because my brother played here and I never got to see him go far. So like him, my dad, my parents, and everyone watching me and my team being that team, that means everything to me.
They're a model for other kids in the school, you know, the kids that have eliminated themselves because they didn't want to put the time in. They wanted the outcome, but they didn't want to put in the input.
In the other 4A semi tomorrow, undefeated Philomath plays Ridgeview. Big news for the Warriors. Senior running back and defensive back Austin Brown is cleared to play after suffering a head injury last weekend. Head coach Troy Muir says that the big matchup for Philomath will be its defense against the Ravens' rushing offense, which is led by Boomer Fleming, a 2-time state wrestling champ who's headed to Stanford.
Focusing on their running game for sure. They like to run the fly sweep quite a bit, but bottom line is they want to give it to Boomer, their tailback, and really try and run it.
One of the keys for us has been defensive play just overall. I mean, our defense is basically dominated with a few exceptions. Our skill players, you know, outside and in the secondary on defense, you know, when they do pass, we're going to have to cover them pretty well, but I think this game's going to be won or lost up front.
So here are the times for the 4A semis tomorrow. Philomath and Ridgeview kick off at 3 at Cottage Grove High. Meanwhile, Cottage Grove takes on North Bend at 6 p.m. at Autzen Stadium. To the 1A semifinals, where top-ranked Lowell will face 2-time defending champs Camas Valley, and the game is expected to be a shootout. Lowell averages a staggering 73 points per game. Are you kidding me? And Camas Valley averages just over 57 per game. But at least a couple Red Devils don't expect the score to be as high as many are thinking.
Last year, the state championship game between them and St. Paul was 22-8, shockingly low score. I don't know, maybe we'll both put together schemes that slow each other down. I would think more like 40-30, something like that.
My prediction is 54-28. Us. Just gonna run our stuff, try to stop them and whatever they do. I mean, they're fast, so we gotta slow down some of their guys, and I think we should be all right.
A couple of low-scoring predictions there, 50 points. Please, let's look at the 1A semis. Lowell kicks off against Camas Valley at 11 a.m. That game is at Cottage Grove. And Triangle Lake hosts Imbler against Imbler at Hillsboro Stadium. That game, 2:15.